Hello, thank you for your time. I'm Brad Rourke, President and CEO of Scottie Resources. I too will be making some forward-looking statements, so just to make note of that. Scottie Resources is a junior exploration company situated in the same area where Roger was just speaking and not too far where Ewan was just speaking about. We're in the Golden Triangle, a very important area as of late in the last 5 years, about $5 billion put into the area. And since you guys are all here, you're probably, there's no newbies. We don't really have to explain how important the Golden Triangle is. Scottie Resources has 60,000 hectares of land, 7 past producing mines. A road bifurcates the lands that you see on the right and all the way up to the Scottie Gold Mine. Down to the south, I'm just going to mention this for about 10 seconds. That's the Georgia River Mine. We drilled that for 2 seasons. We just haven't gone back. Very successful. Non-compliant resource there of about 270,000 ounces running 20 grams. We drilled it for 2 seasons. It's fantastic. It takes a helicopter, so we've just kind of put that on the back burner because capital's hard these days, but we'll get back to that. But reality, with all what you see there, we're just that little blue dot up there is where the Scottie Gold Mine is and our new Blueberry discovery, and we'll just discuss that. And we feel that the value that we have in our market cap's about a $50 million market cap right now. And I think I can demonstrate just where that blue dot is, that there's a lot more value at that blue dot. And then we offer exploration potential, as you can see. And again, my 2 neighbors would be Ascot, who speaks next, and Newcrest there, but now I think it's officially Newmont. So we're kind of in the right situation, and happy to be there. I cannot emphasize one of our biggest advantages is infrastructure. There's absolutely nothing that we need or look forward to it from an infrastructure perspective. Power line, that's a picture of Scottie Gold. That's the old Grand Duke Copper Mine Road. That's how close the power line is. It's on our property border. We also have a mining permit. We're an exploration company, but that does make us unique. The Scottie Gold Mine did produce for about 3.5 years in the early 80s, and it produced a ½ ounce per ton. It was economics that shut it down. They didn't really do property-wide exploration at that time. Don McLeod found a vein on surface, started mining, and even though it produced a ½ ounce per ton, it economically got into trouble because they borrowed $20 million from the Royal Bank of Canada in 1980. Well, that's 22% interest in those days. And so gold was $700, and when it dropped down to the $300, even though they were producing a ½ ounce per ton, they couldn't get out from underneath that weight. I saw that as opportunity. I didn't start this company. It was an existing company for about 8 years. I ended up just taking it over in about 2016. Mostly because that power line, the Bruce Jack power line, was going right alongside a past producing mine. So those are the 2 pieces of information that got me interested, and I was originally just an investor and ended up taking it over. And that was 8 years ago. This has been a very, very long experience for me. Town of Stewart's just 40 kilometers down that road. Deepwater Shipping, that's where the concentrates go out from the Bruce Jack mine and the Red Chris. 4 Seasons Road. And so we're blessed with infrastructure. My drill costs this season, $315 a meter all in, including geophysics. So in our area for that kind of price, what that means to an investor, more drill holes, more looks at what you're having. Although I would like to really emphasize, we're not looking for a discovery anymore. We have a discovery, and I'm going to show you what discovery looks like here in a second. This is a picture of the past producing Scottie Gold Mine on the left. Again, a series of east-west striking paratype pyrite-rich veins. About 100,000 ounces of gold we're taking out of that. Off to the right is the Blueberry Zone, and that's what we're really going to talk about, and that's where a lot of the value and where our discovery is. But I just want to show how close those are to each other. They're part of the same system. I just can't tell you exactly how, just because we just haven't done enough work there. We have ideas, but it's not very long now, so very exciting. An old lake there, as you can see, it's since drained out. 1989, the glacier pulled back. It had been continuously draining out, but that has given us exploration potential that Don McLeod didn't have at the time. As you can see, the Scottie Gold Mine, those veins strike into that lake. We have the ability to explore them, but mostly Blueberry that we have there on the right right under that lake bed, and we just drive up on there, and we've been drilling. No helicopters needed. That's why I have such a low drill costs. We're going to get to Blueberry in a second, but these are our drill holes from the Scotty Gold Mine. We took the task of taking a helicopter up and hit the, multiple vein sets on the way down. Very successful drilling. The underground workings are there in the blue. There's about 7 kilometers of working tunnels. There's an old mill in there. Very competent rock. It can still push the locomotives up and down the tracks. And it goes into the mountain. There's no dewatering. It doesn't go down. It actually just goes into the mountain. But because we only have so much time, let's just talk about Blueberry, and I'll show you what discovery looks like. I took over, it was called the Bow property in 2018 because it attached to the Scotty Gold Mine. And the reason we bought it is we kind of scrubbed out a vein there up on that figure. And at that time, we just thought it was a continuation of Scotty Gold Mine because that vein characteristics are exactly what we saw at Scotty Gold Mine. But our last drill hole in 2019, we're trying to hit the downward extension of that vein. And way before hitting the vein, we hit this interesting intercept of 7.5 grams over 34 meters. It's a beautiful hole, but we didn't understand it, and it really wasn't what we were looking for. And there's nothing sexy about that rock. If we didn't sample top to bottom, we would have missed that because it just looks like everything else in the area. So a very nice hole, but we didn't understand it. So the next season we went in, and we're a very small company at this time. My first season was only 2,000 meters. Next season we went in and did a tight little drill program in around that intercept, and just to try and find out the geometry. And we still thought the vein was the controlling feature of where that mineralization was coming from. So we went to the south and to the north, and as you can see, very, very nice hits. 22 grams over 6 meters, 9 grams over 13 meters. But it was at that point, Thomas, our geologist who's in the audience here, he goes, I don't think the vein's the controlling feature. What I think this is a contact. On the right side of the page, you have a sediment rock, and on the left-hand side of the page, you have an andesite. Now, the Scotty Gold Mine's hosted in just andesite. But he's going, I think it's a contact, and the fluids are coming up. So we went to test that in the next season, but because we're at the top of the valley bottom, we can't see where that contact is. We only identified the contact through the drill holes. Bunch of glacial till, but we could see the contact where the road cut it, where a road cut. So the next season, we went in, and so that's a tight drill program. Then we stepped out 400 meters to the north, 400 meters to the south, roughly 400 meters. And boy, oh boy, did we hit. Up in the north, 34 grams over 12 meters. Very nice. 30 meters from surface. This is right on surface, this mineralization. Went down to the south, and it's a 4 gram over 12 meters, and a whole host of beautiful intercepts in there. My favorite hole, everyone likes that 34 grams over 12, but I think the team, we liked the 15 grams over 13 meters because what that was it was a 140 meter step down because we just wanted to see what was happening with the contact, and we hit that. So all of a sudden we're down at 225 meters depth, 700 meters worth of strike, and again, all the intercepts are looking very interesting. Again, but in 2021, nobody cared just like today. In fact, they might care less today than they did in 2021, but these have been challenging times for the last few years. 2022, people were pulling back on drilling, and we just stepped it up. We did about 17,000 meters in total, and where the perforated line, where the first 700 meters you see there, that's the lake bed, so we couldn't put our eyes on that contact. We don't know where it is. It's just a bunch of lake sediments there. But we did pick it up where the solid line is that's where we can actually see this contact. So yet again, another 400 meter step out, down there on the right, 9.5 grams over 16 meters. Up in the north where we're having super grades, 194 grams over 2 meters. So you can really see really fantastic results, but they're all working together. We have over 30 100 gram meter holes so far on our project. That's extraordinary. And again, on surface, and you can see we're just drilling off the road. And again, one of the reasons my drill costs are so low. I mean, Thomas is going to win an award. They've known the geology's been there for 50 years. They've been driving on that road. And much like when we bought the Blueberry vein, we thought it was east-west, when in fact it's actually north-south. So we redefined what for 50 years people had one idea, and here we are, and these are kind of some of the results we've come up with. This is a little compressed heat map on the 23,000 meters at Blueberry. So this does not include this year's drilling, and we'll get to that in a second. But really, what I want you to see, and there's 4 or 5 more 100-gram-meter holes. We just couldn't put them on the map because it just makes it look too congested. But every one of those highlights that we're showing is just kind of showing you how they work together. And more importantly, from an investment point of view or from a money perspective, it's on surface. When you see grades like that in other places, a lot of the times you're going down kilometer and a half underground to find that kind of high grade. So again, when it gets time to the next stage, that's really, really economical ore. 2023 program, we just completed a 20,000 meter program. 17 of those went into Blueberry this season, which almost doubles our envelope. We had 23,000 before, and then we just added 17,000 to the deposit. So now we're actually really starting to see it from an economic point of view. Those lines down at the bottom are geophysic lines, so now we can actually see that contact through science, and so we don't have to guess anymore. And we ran a grid over the Scotty Gold Mine because every year we still got to drill a little bit more at Scotty because it's still giving up great grades. We do get cut off the mineralization to the north. That's that perforated line. But we did find the offset, and you can see the yellow perforated line in the top right. That's where we kind of see where that offset went to. So it just gets a little bit more complicated. It goes from andesite to an intrusion to the siltstone. And we've drilled about 4 or 5 holes there. But it's interesting. Things are changing there. We're getting low grade, 0.3 grams, but for the whole length of the hole, which suggests that could be the heat source of what we're finding at the Blueberry. And looks a little porphyry style, gold only. We just need to do a little bit more work there. So it takes a little bit of time, but we are having success on that as well. This is the long section, how it looks now after our drilling. The boxes represent what we've released to date so far. I still have an awful lot of news to release into the market, about 60%, maybe more than over 60% of our drill results yet to come. Again, it's holding in. It's just consistent. What can I say? And, you're looking at 2D. These holes are very well spaced apart. 100 meters to 60 meters. If you really want to do some due diligence, give us a call. We'd love to run you through the 3D model. And again, on surface. I have a mine permit. We bought our royalties back. This is royalty-free ore that you see here. We've got mills on either side of us, and we did the met work. We're compatible with both mills on either side of us, which gives investors maybe some downside risk, but I think what we're seeing now, the ounces are piling up. We can go to be a standalone at this stage. So I think downside risk is looked after because that ore is going to make its way through a mill one day. I mean, when you got those grades on surface, mine permit, if grade is king and metallurgy is God, we're kind of hitting all the boxes here. And again, lots of news coming. Very good board of directors, and what I'm proud about this is independent. Nobody knew each other before I formed this board. All different skill sets. Everyone might know Ernie Mass was COO of New Gold at one time, built the Cobre Panama mine. John Williamson's a junior mining legend. Lots of experience in this junior exploration world. Is very, very challenging, but he's, a lot of discoveries under his belt, really guides me well. Steve Stein's an accredited board member. There's not a lot of accredited board members on junior exploration companies. He built Black Diamond Camps from a napkin to a $2 billion company. Allie Owens, young geologist, lawyer. She's the future of mining, and really happy to have her on there. I'm done, aren't I? Capital structure. We haven't really made anybody any money, but we haven't lost any money either. This is 100% retail 5 years ago. I'm down to 33% retail now. 4 people just under 10%, really recognizable names. Eric Sprott. Oh, we got to go. I'm sorry. We've got a very, very strong set of shareholders. Please find me down and ask me some more questions. Good luck out there, and thanks for your time.
Thanks, Brad.